Hi there and welcome back to chapter 4, lecture 13. So by making the strand variations, it's now time to work with a particle system to create a patch of grass. So we maybe need to make some small adjustments, but we can only do that by reviewing the patch. Alright, so how does a patch work? To start, I like to put these strands in a new collection. So we have the grass, and I like to add another collection, new, and call this grass underscore set underscore 01. So this is our first set of grass strands. B, select everything, then we press right mouse button, move to collection, go to nature, go to grass, and grass set underscore 1. The reason why we do that is we want to use this collection on the particle system. And if we use the grass, it will also use the other, you say the strand, what is here by default, without the curvy position, will be appended as well. And we don't want that because it will look really weird if there is one strand looking very flat. So we covered it by making a new collection. So the next thing we do is go to we can, by the way, disable these this set. So we have a clean viewport, and let's say we want to click on grass, add mesh plane. It's now there in the middle, and control point. So we have it selected, and let's go to layout. We have to select it again. I wish that when you change the workspaces, the viewport should be exactly the same, but still a bit meshy. But let's make some duplications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we added some extra vertices, and now we're going to add a very small weight paint. Go to object mode, weight paint, and we zoom in. So something, try to select in the middle, and oh, it needs to be full 100%. Something like this. That's maybe still too big. So I want something really, really tiny. Yeah, that will work. Good. So the magic. Yeah, I call this sort of magic because this is really cool. So we have the plane, and we go to particle system. We haven't used this yet, so I will explain what it is. So a particle system allows you to add a lot of objects linked from a collection to put on the plane, and then you have sliders to add some variation. So it sounds a little bit unclear, but I will show you it by doing. So we click plus, and it says you now have this. I had never seen this circle before. No idea what it is, but we have a plane, and we want to set it to hair. This is a particle system, and if we select hair, and there's a number of thousands, it will add thousands of hairs on this plane. But we don't want hairs, we want grass strands. So we need to find a sort of solution that we can use the strands we made and put them on the plane. So I like to do that. So, and of course I know how to do it, but first I like to change the name and call this grass simple. So default simple, but this is not really advanced. It's just the most common grass there is. So grass underscore simple, right? We want advanced because we want all the sliders we need, and it adds the rotation tab. So we will lower this to 70, but let's keep 1000 to show you what happens if we add our strands. So go to render, and by default it's pad, render as pad. I want collection, so now the hairs disappear. And if we search for grass set 01, it will add our strands, but these are way too big. This is really out of scale. And by the way, thousands of strands is way too much. So a value of 70 will do the job. So there's a solution of scaling, but these strands are so big, I like to scale them by the source. So let's grab them and scale them in object mode. Not many times we scale in object mode, but these we want to scale them in object mode. So go to the plane. Yeah, just a bit more. All right. So disable the gross set 1 because we don't want it to be visible. Control point, so we have the plane in the middle. All right. So what we need to do right now is put these strands in the middle where we added the weight pane. So we go to vertex groups, density, and we select group. So now they're all stitched together, but not really in a random way, because you may remember the image from the grass patch. It was really rough and all these strands go wild on this sample. So if we go to material preview, this looks pretty yeah, I don't know, it looks weird. So I have a solution for this. You click rotation, and I think I need to do one more thing. The strands are, yeah, we need to do some rotation and scaling. Of course, we scaled the strands, but we did not the location reset. So now they are flat. Left click on the plane, go to velocity or rotation needs to be y-axis because we want to phase them upwards, and add some randomizing. Look at that, what happens. And I have to find what sort of, I want to make this a nice patch. So maybe, of course we want to make a nice patch, but I'm looking for a sort of a nice roughness look. Look at that. I think I'm pretty happy with this result. So now all the strands have the same scale, but in real life there are large strands and small strands. So if you go to scale randomness, you increase this a little. So to sort of a value of 0.4. So we have large strands and small strands. This is not bad, in my opinion. If we look at it and we grab our sample, I mean, it's not the same, but this is more wide. But we will make variations from this patch. So we will also make one that is more stitched together. All right. Something that is hurting my eyes are these curvy spikes there. So we open the source. It's still opened. And we go to our strands. There they are. And select one control point, so it's in the middle. And we have to find the strand, what is, I think it's that one. So we zoom in, go to the wireframe, and we need to smooth it out a little bit. So that's good. And if you find some more with this one, for example, what you can do is also add an extra edge line and make it curvy. Don't add too many edge lines because it will hurt the performance. But I think we now covered this problem. We go back to our plane, control point, we have it in the middle, go to material preview, and it's a bit better. Yeah, of course it's way better. Lower the points. No, it doesn't have any effect on the preview. It's a little bit too bright, and of course we need to do some material settings, but I just wanted to change it a little bit. All right, so I left click on this plane, go to the top view and press Shift D, G, X, and drag this to the left. And let's say this is our main plane and this is our duplication, and I want to change the variation as I already mentioned. So you go to this particle system and you click on this 2. So if you don't do it and you make changes, you will change this park set as well. So let's say this has 75 strands. We have a different seed, and you said you have a totally different look. But I have something in mind. Let's make this more stitched together. And I use these to to rotate it and rotate it back, and these 3 sliders just move them a little bit more or less random scale. All right, so this is not a very wide patch, but more stitched together if you compare it with this one. So that's good. And we do it one more time, or 2 more times. Shift D, GX, and I want to even make it more stitched. So again, click 2. Let's make this 65, and yes. With yes, I mean this sort of clumpy look is what I like to achieve. Some less randomness, and there are, it can change the scale, but I'm not quite enthusiastic about this option because it's not doing really nice things. You can smaller this patch, but the thing I like about I make versions, so these patches are all sort of same size. Then we create a new layer of patches and we make a very small patch. So this is let's change the C to 2. That's something what I like. But this is not bad at all. I like the way how this works out. So I like to go for one more version. Take the first one, and we make a very wide version. So I like to go for 77 and different seed. Yeah, and increase the wideness. So something like this will work. Right. Good. So I'm pretty happy with this result. This is the end of this lecture. In the next lecture, we will make variations. So we make a very wide patch with small strands and variations on that. So yeah, stay tuned and let's make some more graphs. It will be amazing, I promise you. Bye bye.